Welcome, race fans, to the SimWorld Racing Network's presentation of the Quick Finishers Racing League Cup Series. This is the Firecracker 240 from Daytona International Speedway. I am your host, David Hillbilly Hara. David Lurfano will not be with me in the booth this evening, but we're going to get through this tonight anyway. We're going to have a good time right here on SimWorld Racing Network, as we are at the high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. Let's take a look, folks, at our race for today. We are at a 2.5 mile speedway here in Daytona Beach, Florida, for the Firecracker 240. Temperature is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temps about 122, so it's pretty hot out there on the track. Going to be some beating and banging as always, because that's what it takes to go fast here at a super speedway. Now, we no longer have the restrictor plates running on the Cup car in these series. However, with the drag that they have and the downforce setups, drafting is a must. If you lose that draft, you're in a whole heck of a lot of trouble. If you don't understand what the draft is, that's when you're say you're on the highway and you're behind a tractor trailer and you could kind of feel your car moving around a little bit. That's actually what being in the draft is. It's basically blocking all that wind, making your car able to travel faster as you come up on the back of another car, because you're not having that air push against the front of your car. So what you'll see tonight when cars get side by side, that car that's in that position right behind him has the ability to kind of suck up, we'll say, those two cars in front of him quite easily. Should be a very, very interesting race tonight. Let's take a look at our racing points. I had to verify that these were actually correct because they look very similar to last week, but James Nelson is your points leader over Curtis Sauburn, followed by Michael Kerjelak, Eric Thornton, and Zoltan Nagy. In 6th, you have Kenneth Pack. 7th is Gregory Robinson. 8th is Tommy Osborne. 9th is Tyrone Yo with Tyler Nelson in the 10th position. James Bowden is 11th with Ryan Steinhoff in 12th. Greg Barnett is 13th with Benny Campbell 14th. 15th is Michael Boone. 16th is Michael Bovair. Looks like Rada is in the 17th position. And 18th and final position is Larry Stubblefield. Now we have about 15 cars so far in this practice session with a minute and a half left to go before qualifying. I know there was a few drivers that may have taken provisionals for tonight's race. It's unfortunate as we're coming closer and closer to the playoffs here. As you can see, we're gonna cut away to the top 12 in points by the end of I believe tonight's race. Maybe is this the cutoff, or maybe next week at Dover will be the cutoff. I think that's Dover. I'll take a look and get back with you on that data, folks. Just to be sure we're giving you the proper information here. But nonetheless, qualifying is practice is wrapping up here. Your speeds for practice are as follows. Let me get myself together here tonight. With Boone having the fastest time, followed by Pack, Nelson, Bowden, and other Nelson. It's your top 5 in practice speeds. Again, practice speeds are a little weird here because you are running in a draft type scenario, so that's going to be 2 or more, 3 or more, 4 or more cars running in a pack. So their lap times are literally the best lap times are 46.43, 46.43, and 46.46, 46.47, and 46.47. That's your top 5. So very close on times there, but we're going to get into this qualifying session where we're going to find out who's got that fastest single car speed. While we're waiting for cars to take take to the grid here. We have Tyrone Yo currently out on track in that number 2 Chevrolet. Coming around to get ready to take his first lap. Michael Kerjelak is also on track. As he heads down the backstretch on his up-to-speed lap here. Gregory Robinson on track as well as James Nelson, Tyler Nelson, Chris Essery, Lee Walter Huber coming out on track, Curtis Auburn out on track. Randy Sprouse joining the track as well. Kirby Wainscott is back in the field. Hasn't raced, I don't believe, at all this season, but looks like his work schedule's changed and is able to join this race here tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how well Kirby's able to run with these regulars here in the Quick Finishers Racing League. Will he have any friends out here where friends really do matter here in the Quick Finishers Racing League at a drafting style track, a super speedway here? Tyrone Yo comes around through turns 3 and now coming off of turn 4, going to take his first lap under green. Tyrone times in with the 50.07, but he's topped by Nelson at a 50.46 to Kerjelak's 43. Now move Robinson to third with the 46. These times, even in single car, folks, are right on top of one another. These drivers coming around to get 2 laps of qualifying here. So you want to wrap, in qualifying, you're going to want to wrap that yellow line, stay as close to it as you can without getting down onto the flat there at the bottom. It's Curtis Auburn. Comes through turn 2, going to head down that backstretch, really pinning it right down to the yellow line. If you're just joining us, this is the Firecracker 240 from Daytona International Speedway as Chris Essery jumps to the top of the charts with a 15. Fastest lap thus far at a 15. Now Michael Boone times in at a 34 and puts him in P2. Essery brings his number 22 machine back to the pits. Michael Boone on his final lap of the run here as he heads down the backstretch. Curtis Auburn finishes his second lap, unable to improve his position. Kenneth Pack jumps to P2. So far, we have Essery on the pole with Kenneth Pack in second. Kenneth Pack finishing up his second lap now as he's coming back to the start-finish line. He's going to go ahead and slow it down, realize not enough time there. He's going to park it. Looks like James Bowden and Michael Bovair both electing not to pit. We have about 25 seconds left in this qualifying session. Your pole sitter tonight is Chris Essery in the number 22 Ford. Chris has been on a tear lately. I believe was last week's winner, if I remember correctly. at Michigan. Yes, Chris Essery was the winner last week in Michigan, getting his, I believe, his 5th win on the season last week. Chris trying to have more of the same, as I believe he swept both the stages and won the race last weekend, and that is correct. That's what happened in Michigan. Michigan also, giving us a little bit of drafting style efforts there. As all the cars beginning to grid up now. We'll take a look at our starting order. Inside row 1 will be Chris Essery, starting on the pole with Kenneth Pack to his outside in row 1. Michael Boone to the inside of row 2. Curtis Sauerbrunn on his outside. Michael Kerjelek will be inside row 3 with Gregory Robinson to his outside. James Nelson, row 4 inside with Randy Sprouse to his outside. Kirby Wainscott, row 5. Lee Walter Huber on his outside with Tyrone Yo, row 6. Tyler Nelson. Dustin Matney, row 7. Michael Bovair, and then James Bowden will be in the final spot there in 15th position as the car is now taking to the track. First start will be on the green flag, on the flag man. Lights are out on the pace car. But the first will be on the flagman, and then every subsequent restart will be on the leader inside the Geico restart zone. Now, tonight's race is made up of, as always, of stages. We have stage breaks at the end of lap 21 for stage 1, the end of lap 57 for stage 2, and then we'll round this thing out lap 96 to finish it off for 240 miles. For the Firecracker 240. As we head down the backstretch here into turn 3 for the final time before the restart, or before the start of the race. Cars now heading through 3 and 4, coming to the exit of 4. Let's go to Barney in the flag stand. He's got the flag in hand. So we see the cars coming off of 4 now, and they're going to head down towards this tri-oval. He's got the green flag raised. Going to get it going. But tighten those seatbelts one more time as here we go for the Firecracker 240. Green flag is in the air. Chris Essery going to lead him on that inside line. Got a little bit of help with him. Helps on the bottom side. Now pulling out to 3 car lengths. Inside's lined up a lot tighter than that outside here in the early going of lap 1 anyway. As they head down into turn 3, Chris Essery is your leader, followed by Michael Boone and Michael Kerjelak. Lap 1 is in the books. Now on to lap 2 and forward to get to lap 21 here, which will be our first stage break. You're watching the Quick Finishers Racing League Cup Series, the Firecracker 240, right here on the SimWorld Racing Network. Everybody kind of single file throughout the pack now. No one, looks like the 3 of Robinson, I believe, steps to the outside. No help, though. He's going to drop to the back. As long as these guys, man, he wants to get in line so bad, but they're going to keep pulling to his inside. He's likely going to get freight trained to the back. 75 jumps up to give him a little bit of air, but can't stay up there with the 10 of Wainscott bearing down on him. So Robinson going to continue to lose positions here. Trying to make something happen, but had no takers, no one to go with him. No help at all for the 3. That's not going to be the last we see of of Smokey Robinson tonight. Really, really good at these plate or these drafting style tracks. He gets in line there, doesn't go all the way to the back, but drops now 6 positions overall to the 12th position. But he's now looking back to the outside again. He gets ran up the track a little bit by the 48 of Auvert. No harm, no foul as they're able to hold on to it. Kind of breaks up the tail of this pack a little bit, though. Your leader is Chris Esser, getting past now, challenged by the 5 of Michael Boone and Michael Kurgelak in tow. Now the 54 is going to go to the outside. The 22 is going to be the one hung out on that inside. The line decided to form up and go, and buddy, did they go. That moves our leader, Esri, back to the 8th position before he falls back in line. We get a pack trying to get something formed on the top side there, led by Esri. Trying to gain a little bit of momentum, but they're not together enough. Dustin Matney can get a little bit closer. Now the 10 is going to go up there in front of the 22. They're going to start this. They're going to get this outside line rolling here. It caused the inside, when the 10 jumped up there, it really caused the inside to break up. I mean, your front 4 are still pretty tight, but kind of broke them up a little bit. Michael Boone is your leader here at lap 5 of 96. Everyone minding their P's and Q's so far. The laps are ticking away in a hurry here at the 10. Oh, trouble. Just said it a little too early, but wow, now the 12's around. No caution flag because they're off track. No caution. Oh, now the caution flag flies. Yikes. Let's go back and see what happened. This kind of started with Wayne Scott, I believe, right around his area is what I'm seeing him go off track. We'll see what that is. Right there, big push by Esri. He gets to the right side of the bumper. Everything's fine there. Oh, yeah, okay. So there we saw it, folks. The 12 kind of gets up. We're going to try that again. The 10 just barely drifts back up on track. Let's see if we can get a better look at what might have happened there. You know, watch it from cockpit of the 12 if we can. All right, let's jump over to that 12 machine. I think he just gets up a little bit and gets clipped maybe, and then, yeah, that puts him into the 10 right there. All right, as we have some takers on pit road here in the early goings. So it looks like the 12 is on pit road. Curtis Saubern coming down pit road. Gregory Robinson, Chris Esri, James Bowden, Tyrone Yo, Lee Walter Huber, Tyler Nelson, all on pit road. Caution here on lap 6. Collecting it started with the 22 and the 12, I believe. A little bit of contact as the 12 came up, and then it crossed him across, and he takes out the 10 of Wayne Scott. Wayne Scott may not have used his quick repairs, getting damage manually repaired on that car. There's a lot of time here under a caution flag to get things done, so that's likely what we're seeing out of Kirby Wayne Scott. and the 12, both coming in, getting that damage worked out. Trying to watch these drivers to make sure Tyrone Yo and okay, so the Wayne Scott in the 10 gets moving. Tyrone Yo is gonna go a lap down here. Unfortunate for Ty. Dustin Matney is several laps down already in that number 12. Lights are out on the pace car. Going to go back green this time by Michael Boone is your leader, followed by Michael Kerjlak, Kenneth Pack, Michael Bovair, and James Nelson, your top 5. So we're going to restart here, and we're going to have about 12 laps to go to take us to the end of stage 1. We head down the back stretch for the final time before the restart. Again, the restart will be on our leader, Michael Boone. He'll step on that loud pedal sometime within the Geico restart zone to get this thing going once again. When he does, now see, it's a little bit different. Sometimes you want to use that to your advantage to jump out in front of other drivers. Here at these drafting style tracks, he really wants to be watching that driver behind him, kind of roll up to his back bumper, and as he's rolling up, kind of take off, so that he and the 16 can get a good push together. So the 16's really pushing the back bumper of the 5 is what ideally he's looking for. But we're going to find out as they get into the Geico restart zone here. See if we can get a view from overhead from our chopper. The 5 gets a jump and pulls away from the 16. Can't switch lanes until now. After he crosses the start-finish line, now he can switch lanes if he needed to go to the high side, as the momentum's going to be with this high side. The 5's really going to need to go up and either throw a block, or is he going to decide to stay down there? The 16 able to hold on pretty well by himself. That top line is forming up as the 54 is to the back of the 75 with Nelson, and that auto serve machine now to the back of the 19. So that outside is going to start getting a really good run here down the backstretch. Michael Kerjlak gets to the lead, is now clear of the leader. 75 is now clear. They're going to wait on the 54 here on the high side. Looks like it as the 5 is getting a good push now from the 16. May have gotten the 5 of Boone a little bit loose there. Now the 54 is clear. They're going to hang the 17 out. Not close enough for the 17. Single foul once again. Nearly through the entire field. The 2 of Tyrone Yo still sitting on pit road. Hopefully everything's going okay with Ty. So we can kind of see the yo-yo effect or accordion effect that happens here at these races. You know, you can't really get to the bumper of another car very well unless you have a run, a good amount of speed, which usually comes from the car behind you. Some of these guys you'll see wearing a yellow banner above their windshield. That is actually a banner for where these guys also race in the All-American Racing League here on Tuesday nights on SimWorld Racing Network. They have the yellow spoiler and the yellow visor there above the windshield. That just indicates for that series that they are in the playoffs. They were playoff eligible and in the playoffs. So if that looks funky to you, that's just kind of why. Now, there's other drivers in this field that are also in the playoffs, like that 75 right there. But he He thought to actually change his paint scheme for tonight. Has a different paint scheme for this series than what he runs in All-American Racing League. These top 5 cars have broken out a bit. Now we're back to this second pack being headed up by Randy Sprouse in the number 17. They say that as Bovair kind of jumps to the outside. Not sure what he's doing out there unless he wanted to drop to the back of this pack, because you're not going to go fast racing here in the second pack, and you've got to make up that distance. So I'm thinking maybe he just wanted to run in the back of that pack for a little while. So elected to go ahead and go high, let these guys to his inside. Now he'll suck up from the back here and run the tail of this group. But they're really going to want to get it a little closer together if they have any chance of gaining on this front pack. The distance right now is about 1.2 seconds from 5th place Kenneth Pack back to 6th place Randy Sprouse. Michael Kerjelak is your leader in that number 19 butt kicker. Toyota. Or no, he's a Ford. I apologize. Hit it. Butt kicker Ford. Try to get in here and go through the field real quickly if we can. It's the number 19. I thought the 75 was looking to his inside, decided not to do that. Or maybe didn't intend to get down there anyway. Michael Kerjelak currently in first position. Second place in the auto serve number 75 Ford is James Nelson out of Harper's Ferry. Auto serve, you can get your vehicle serviced at Auto Serve, one of the premier sponsors here of the Quick Finishers Racing League, and James Nelson. And if you're in the Charlestown, West Virginia area, check them out and get that car serviced, get it taken care of. Curtis Saubern in the number 54 Monster Energy Toyota in third position. Michael Boone in that Thermal number 5 Chevrolet was a leader early on. Kenneth Peck right behind him out of Greer, South Carolina in his American Heart Association 100 Years Prisma Health Chevrolet. We've got Randy Sprouse in the Peak number 17 Ford, followed by the 22 of Chris Essery in that Shell Pennzoil Ford. Backing on up to the 3 Budweiser Chevrolet of Gregory Smokey Robinson. Tyler Nelson in the number 85 unsponsored machine this week, or is this Traxxas again? Usually sponsored by Traxxas. Lee Walter Huber in that number 20. Not sure how to pronounce that, but something to rock there. In the number 53 Artemis Esports machine of James Bowden. Back in the 11th position with Michael Bovair behind him. In that number, well, not directly behind him. Directly behind him is the 12 of Dustin Matney. Dustin is in the 14th position currently, but Michael Bovair is right behind him in the Quicksilver Ford, number 48 Ford, with Kirby Wainscott behind him in that number 10 Ranger Boats Bass Pro Shop machine. And Tyrone Yo still sitting on pit road in his Trump number 2 Camaro. Not sure what's happening with Tyrone. Unfortunately, maybe didn't have his fast repair checked and had to get serious damage repaired. Not sure. I didn't see him in the incident earlier. We've got 4 laps to go here in the first stage. Man, this thing is flying by. Is the outside lane 17 really inside the rear bumper of the 54? I mean, literally just holding right to it all the way through the corner. May have even slowed him up a little bit because of the contact they're making. Unable to make any speed on that high side. That's been the story of the race tonight thus far. The drivers just can't seem to get a whole heck of a lot going on the outside. I think as the lights come on after a while and this race really starts to cool down, that we're likely going to see that outside start to take off a little bit more. Don't hold me to that, but it's a good chance of it. Here at lap 18 of 21 in stage 1, it's going to be a scramble for who's going to finish in the first position, because if you win this stage, you carry a single playoff point throughout the playoffs. Very, very valuable, because each time the points get reset for all the drivers, the stage points plus stage wins plus race win bonus points and the regular series points leader points, which is currently held by Curtis Sauber, being chased, or James Nelson, but being chased by Curtis Sauber. I think that's the way it went. 75 really giving that 19 machine a great push to get him out further. Trying to walk away from Kenneth Pack, so Kenneth doesn't try to steal some points here, but Kenneth's going to get right back in the mix, now sucking right back up to the back of the 75. Four-car breakaway. They're going to be the ones to battle this thing out, coming down to the final couple of laps here of the stage. But all the drivers within the top 10 will score stage points, starting 10 for the winner, and then 9, 8, 7, so on, all the way back to 1 point for 10th place. So they're going to score stage points to help with the regular season points, but nothing like the win when you're coming down to the final few races left of the regular season. Because winning that stage, again, carries that point into the playoffs and through the playoffs. Very valuable. Very, very valuable. Thank you for joining us here on the SimWorld Racing Network for the Quick Finishes Racing League Cup Series Firecracker 240 from Daytona International Speedway. As we cross the line this time, it'll be one lap to go in the stage. This is the final lap of the stage. Let's see what happens if it starts to heat up here at the top, as we see the number 5 getting a push by Chris Esri on the outside line. Starting to battle, starting to build back up. This was a 4-car breakaway. These guys said, not so fast. We want a piece of the action here, as that outside line is going to try to go for it, see if they could catch these top 2 cars, as the 75 and 19 have pulled away going down the backstretch. 4 cars are faster than 2, but now they're going to fall in line. Guys dropping to the inside line is Michael Boone, bringing Esri with him. We come through turns 3 and 4. Now the 75 going to go high in front of Michael Boone to block that position. Now side by side at the line. The 19 drops back. It's going to be the 75 of Nelson gets the stage win. Robs the 19 of that stage win. He's going to carry that all-valuable stage point into the playoffs with him. Definitely what he wanted to do and needed to do here. One man's success is another's turmoil, I guess, in this case. I don't know what the words I was looking for there, folks. They didn't really come out the way I wanted them, but yeah, I meant the same thing. You know, you had the 19 who probably, he knew he was a sitting duck. He knew he was a target. And unfortunately for him, could not block the 75 when the 75 jumped up to block the 5. Couldn't get clear enough. You're just kind of a sitting duck there, just waiting to be passed, and that's what happened. We should see these drivers likely come down and take on four fresh Goodyears. Tires aren't necessarily needed, but it's gonna allow you to make more moves. To make more moves here late in the going, or possibly a different strategy. We might see some guys take fuel only or take 2 tires. Not really sure what the strategy is going to be here tonight in Daytona. But I will find out along with you, try to give you every bit of information I possibly can about these pit stops as they take place. But for the number 75 auto serve Ford of James Nelson, that is the stage 1 win. Next stage will end at the end of lap 57. That'll be stage 2, lap 57. Every driver in the field coming down pit road. The exception, Tyrone Yo is back on track. Not sure what happened with Tyrone. He's also back in, coming down pit road. So at least Tyrone was able to rejoin us, but not sure what happened. Right sides are up on the 75, your leader. They come around, going to take left sides as well. Oh, Essery going to win the battle off of pit road as he has a 8-second pit stop. Smokey Robinson is an 8-second pit stop, going to come out second. James Nelson, your leader, falls to third with Randy Sprouse coming out fourth. 2 tires for Randy, maybe fuel only for Essery and Robinson. And pretty much everybody else took 4 tires. Curtis Sovereign with a very slow stop of 25 seconds. I'm not sure if he had a little damage there or something he needed to get straightened out. We'll check in with Curtis at the end of stage 2 if Lord willing and I remember. We'll check in with him and try to get a lap around with Curtis Dale. So you can see from his helmet cam what it looks like to go around here as he kind of explains to us what's happening from behind the steering wheel, the windshield, and the driver's seat. Not behind the driver's seat, that'd be kind of weird. But your leader, once again, is pole sitter Chris Essery back out front after a little bit of strategy call here. And that puts Gregory Robinson going to restart on the outside line. I believe the lights are out on the pace car. So that should get them stacked up 2 by 2 by 2. Gonna go green this time by, again, inside the Geico restart zone. The 22 of Essery will be the control car. This is one brave cameraman here, folks. I'm just kidding. It's robotically controlled. It's actually pretty cool for those of you that don't know. They have so NASCAR or these production companies have cameramen that actually sit out in a trailer outside of the track. And here at Daytona, maybe inside the track. I know at Bristol, I actually got to go in one of them, and they have like these motorcycle handlebars, and they'll have 4 different cameras for each one of these guys that are operating them, and they can switch between those cameras and then move those motorcycle handlebars and zoom in, zoom out, all of that via what looks to be motorcycle handlebars. It's really kind of cool because they can move that camera all around and give you all the great action from the track without the danger of getting having a car slide across the top of the cameraman, which would never be a good thing. As we're coming back to the start-finish line here, getting ready to go green. Pace car is off. '22 backs him up all the way to the end of the restart zone before going. That's a good way to keep the car behind you right with you, because then it's very predictable about when you're going to go if you wait to the end. So smart move by Essery to keep his help in the 75 right there up against his bumper. And now as they're still that way as they head through 1 and 2 down the backstretch, 75 giving a great push to the 22. They're getting out there. Now, is this what they're going to want to do? I don't know. It depends on how this pack can form up behind them, but they're still racing 2 by 2. It's going to allow these 2 drivers up here to get away just a little bit. Now the 19 of Kerjlak gets free, got helped by the 5 of Boone. Both of these cars have been fast all night long. Both have led. They've caught the leaders now. Oh, as the 3 gets all out of shape. Now the 54 is down to the inside. Curtis Sauber across the grass. Going to get back up on the track. Hopefully hold on to the draft. Looks like he might have lost part of his car as he entered back on the track. 12 is back down pit road. Several laps down already for Matney. Back down pit road. The 75 able to do some really good pushing with the front of his Ford there, able to lock right onto the rear bumper of the 22, which carries so much more speed than being, you know, a foot and a half away or, you know, whatever. The closer you can get to that driver in front of you, the faster those two cars can propel. The only problem that you'll run into with that type of racing is that if you're locked onto someone's bumper or you're banging on the bumper in front of you and the guy behind you, he can't see any of that. So if he gets a run, say Michael Boone gives 19 at Kerjlack a good run to the back of the 75, if the 75 makes contact, or if the 19 makes contact with the 75's bumper while he's locked on, that 22 is going around. 9 out of 10 times that's the way it will happen. But not the case here, just letting you know what can happen as this backpack is, I mean, now these front 3 cars have kind of pulled away. Michael Boone kind of backed up, could not really hang with the 19 there. Didn't have any help behind. Now has the 20 with Lee Walter Huber behind him. As we have a 3-car group on the outside there trying to make something happen. The 19 is going to go to the outside of the 75, side drafting. Going to take over that second spot. Will he drop back in line, or will he hold on to this run that's coming from the outside? Better hold on to the line from the outside, as now the 19 is looking to challenge the 22. He's going to get past him there. 75 gives a great bump to the 22 down the backstretch. I had to take a quick breath there, folks. A lot to say. As a lot happens here really, really fast, I had to talk really, really fast. Now the 22 back to the lead. Gets that push, can't quite clear the 19 to control both lanes. So they're going to battle on as that lap is led by the 19 of Kerjlack. 22 and 75, 19 and 17. That is your battle for the lead. 19, no real help. He side drafted the heck out of the 75 just now. That'll help pull the 17 back to his rear bumper. 16 of Kenneth Pack back there. Third on that outside line. Going to be able to give the 17 a little bit of help to push the 19 a little further. That's going to propel the 19 to about a fender length over the 22 on the exit. Now door to door, side by side. Who's going to get the most help coming to the line? It's going to be the 19 of Kerjlack. Leads lap 30, coming to 31 there. Again, we're going to have a stage break at the end of lap 57. That is 5-7. Inside line still able to work very well when these guys get tandem like that. It really kind of broke the inside or the outside lane apart as the 16 of Pack dropped down to the inside line. Ooh, the 12 of Matney. I didn't see him come into frame until a little later than what I expected. Kind of made me nervous. These guys on track know a little bit better what they're doing than what I do. Let's jump on board with the 75. Kind of see what he's seeing from inside. As he gets right on that bumper. So not connecting right here. We don't see any oil temp or water temp, but the driver does. So don't let that fool you. And that could be why he's stepping out of line. He could be overheating just a little bit. That is another problem with these cars. They have a smaller radiator than they used to, and also different ways of venting to the radiator. So they've got to be able to get air in the front of that car to cool this thing down after a little bit. And that's exactly what the 75 is doing. Here's the 19s to his outside. They make contact, and something happened to check the 22 up. Let's get out of this view. That was almost a big one there. As the 75 kind of got down, looked to the inside of the 22 a bit. But they've got freight trained by that 19, the 17, and the 53 of James Bowden now in the picture. 22 at Esri jumps back to the high side. Got help by, is that Lee Walter Lieber in the 20 or is that the 48? Because that would be the 48. And the 20, oh, is the 48's into the wall, Beauvais into the wall with that right side of his vehicle there. Not going to be the fast way around. The 20 now looking to kind of hold down on the 5 just a bit, running to more the middle of the track. Now going to go to the low side. This top side just falls completely apart. Now it looks like the 75 of Nelson going to try to go up there. Does he have help? He does, by way of Kenneth Pack and Gregory Robinson. Now the 19 of Sprouse tries to get up there, can't quite make it happen. Can't get in line with him. Going to have to get back down to the inside and does so. Move James Nelson back to the lead. He will be your leader at the line, getting a great push by the 16 of Kenneth Pack. Pac-Man Pack, Podium Pack. We call him all kinds of things. Just don't call him outside the top 5 because that doesn't usually happen. So running up front a little earlier on than we typically see Pack, but this is drafting style super speedway racing, and that's what you'll see. The 54 of Sauber is in trouble. He is all alone just now crossing the start finish line now. The leader is less than half a track behind him, and they have all the help. All the draft is with the leaders who are at the start finish line now. So they are, I mean, Curtis Auburn is some 30 seconds behind our leader. And being that they're running 40, well, currently they're down in the 47-second bracket. So they've slowed down about a second, a little over a second overall. But so they're running 47-second laps. Curtis is running 50-second laps by himself. So he's losing 3 seconds a lap to the field. That's not going to take very much time all to click off 16, 17 laps, especially when we have to lap 57. So we have 20 laps to go. There's very little chance the 54 is going to be able to keep it on the lead lap. Now, if he does get past, he would be the first car 1 lap down, which would give him the ability to get the lucky dog, the free pass, if that does happen. If he doesn't get a caution before then. Hey, Scott, as always, we thank you for joining and watching in here tonight. Scott Pack, I believe that's brother of Kenneth Pack in the number 16. 16 doing very well. Says, let's go 16 to the winner's circle. There's a very good chance of that tonight, Scott. Very good chance of that. As we know, he's a very methodical driver. He has a plan each and every week and executes his plan flawlessly a lot of times. So, very good chance that could happen. But right now, he is pushing that 75 for all it is worth. But the new leader is Randy Sprouse. He got to push to the outside by Chris Essery, another of the very, very fast drivers here in the Quick Finishers Racing League. Randy Sprouse kind of new to Quick Finishers Racing League and All-American Racing League, but has proven to be a decent driver in his own rights. So see how he's able to execute tonight as he drops down to the inside line to get in front of that 75. That's going to keep him out front. Kind of control both lanes. That's what you want to do as the leader. It can be a little dangerous game of cat and mouse there. You're switching from low lane to high lane to low lane. But if you don't switch in time, you usually have things like this happen where like the 22's passing him now. They still battle door to door through 1 and 2. They're not far now from this 54 of Sauber. Sauburn's heading down the backstretch. They're entering the backstretch now, or they're coming down the backstretch now. They're going to catch him in the next lap and a half, 2 laps for sure. And then that's going to be interesting, right? Because he has every right to choose wherever he wants to be on track as long as he holds his line. I'm a fan of making the leaders pass me to the outside. And the reason for that is number one, it kind of slows down their momentum a little bit to where I can at least grab the back of the draft. But it also keeps my car more in control. And last thing I want to do is wreck in front of the leaders and take the field out. We'll see what Curtis chooses to do here as they're bearing down on him. But yeah, he doesn't have to move out of the way. Matter of fact, he should be battling to try to stay on the lead lap. However, again, they're coming some. Let's take a look. See if we can pull up a battle box here. Hopefully our logo's not over top of that too much so, but you can see Sauber some 2.2 seconds now, and they're closing. They're within 2 seconds, now under 2 seconds. As they get lined up here, they're going to be passing him in a hurry as it's down to a second and a half now to Curtis Sauber. It's a very lonely feeling being out there on your own. All-American Racing League just raced in Atlanta. I spent a lot of time by myself trying to make it happen, and luckily found some folks that were able to work with me to keep me on lead lap. But unfortunately for Curtis, not going to be the case as of right now. But his day is not over by any means. The outside line sticks with him. Oh, they get bunched up. Slows down the outside line quite a bit. He elected to stay high, and the 75 elected to stay with him rather than take him 3 wide. That kind of checked up the 16 and the 5 when he did that. But nonetheless, they're going to get it back up to speed, and Curtis is going to try to race back up there, maybe get his lap back the hard way. He's trying to look to the outside of this 17 to keep on moving. Your leader is Chris Essery, followed by Smokey Robinson, James Bowden, Randy Sprouse, and Kirby Wainscott. Nice rebound for both Essery and Wainscott, who were in the only caution we've had for incident today. Little mishap occurred. I believe the 12 may have come across the nose of the 22 a little bit, caught the 10, spun the 10. I believe that's the order in which it happened. I'm sure somebody will let me know if I was wrong about that, but. They never really settled down on this stage. As we got the 85s around, the 85 clip with the 5, I believe. They're wrecking all the way back through the field here now. The 85 gets into the 17. Started with Tyler. Tyler got really, really loose, it appeared. I'm going to see if we can catch maybe an overhead look at that. See what exactly occurred. Keeping on this 85. He's getting pushed by the 48 down the backstretch here off of the corner. He's in the back of the 20. Okay, he just goes up a little bit, gets caught by a bump by the... And then, oh, man. Some guys unfortunately got in that. For Curtis Sauber, though, this is going to work out for Sauber. Now, he did get a little bit of contact in that incident, so we'll take another look at that. But we'll take a look from the blimp. Curtis Sauber's going to get in this a little bit. Now, you watch, the 5's going to get contact. He's on the far left of your screen there. He's going to get... I believe the 85 is going to clip him just a bit. We might be able to catch that. Yes, the 85 tries to get away from it. And then the 19 gets a little bit of maybe nose damage. And I thought the 54 got clipped a little bit there. Yeah, it looks like he's got a tire down or something as I'm seeing sparks come out the back of it. Definitely some kind of damage to him. But nonetheless, all these drivers are coming down pit road Looks like all our leaders are coming down. Likely going to be some fuel-only stops on this one. We're going to keep an eye on the leader. Now, he took fuel-only the last stop. Don't know if he's going to chance it for tires or if he's going to try to stay out for stage points. Be interesting to see. Looks like it's fuel-only on the 22 again. Fuel only for Kenneth Pack. Fuel only for Kerjalak. No, yeah, Kerjalak. Smokey Robinson takes his 4 tires. Still gets out in 4th position. Michael Boone, fuel only, comes out in 5th. Michael Bovair will come out 6th, taking 4 tires. Actually, a very slow stop for Bovair. He must have got some damage repaired. Tyler Nelson, who was in the spin, takes 4 tires, gets that vehicle repaired. James Nelson going to be the big loser here, falling back to 11th. Curtis Sauber going to be your lucky dog. He'll come around to get his lap back, I believe, unless he just pitted. If he pitted with the leaders, he's not going to be able to get that lap back. I think he did. Oh, no. So, if you're, maybe he didn't get the lucky dog. We'll see. Matney 4 laps down. That's where he was at. So, I don't know. Unless he wasn't the lucky dog recipient, but I thought he should have been. However, coming down pit road would have disqualified him from getting that. Your leader is Chris Essery, followed by Kenneth Pack, Michael Kerjalak, Smokey Robinson, Michael Boone in 5th. You're watching the SimWorld Racing Network. This is the Quick Finishers Racing League Cup Series, the Firecracker 240 from Daytona International Speedway, right here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Folks, if you've never been to this racetrack to watch a NASCAR event or any event, this place is absolutely phenomenal. It is world class. It's probably one of the best racetracks in the world. Escalators to take you up and down rather than having to walk up steps and stuff. Escalators to take you up and down on the inside to get up to where your seating is, and then of course you have to walk down step bleachers, but or seating. Phenomenal place to watch a race. Good time at Daytona. Really good food in the Daytona Beach area too. Really good food. I mean, really good food. Especially if you like seafood, obviously, being right there on the beach. So we're going to restart here with 40 on lap 47, which is going to put us with a 10-lap shootout to the end of Stage 2. That'll be 10 laps to the end of Stage 2. See the starter just change the flags that he has in his hands. So we wait for the cars to get down here to the Geico restart zone. Chris Essery going to lead him off. Does he wait to the end again? And he does. Waits to the end to fire off. Green flag is in the air. 19 unable to stay with him, though. That's going to hurt the 22s. The outside line may have a little bit of juice, but no, the 16 drops on down and occupies that space that was left open by the 19. Not sure if that was by design or not, but that kind of hung the 3 out on the outside by himself. Well, followed by Michael Bovair, I guess, and the 10. So he's not really by himself, but quite far back in the pack to kind of start this thing off when you were right there in second row. It just kind of hurt you. When guys change lines like that can definitely affect the outcome of your race. Now the 3 getting a great push by the 48. They're getting a run to the outside of Michael Boone. Boone going to try to battle back on the inside, try to suck back up to that 19 Kerjelak. He's got a little bit of help by the 85 of Tyler Nelson. Outside line, got about 6 cars running up there. The remainder of the field running to the inside. Right there is where the 19's got to be very careful touching that 16. It worked out okay that time because the timing just allowed him to hit him and be off of him when the 16 touched the 22. Had the 16 been touching the 22, it could have been a much, much different outcome. Last lap by was the fastest lap of the race for Chris Essery, running a 46.17. Not the fastest lap of the race, which is currently held by Michael Kerjelak with a 45.75. These guys making some really, really good times in this front three, being able to hold it together. They're very tightly work, very closely together. You get the father and son duo back here in that outside line with Tyler Nelson leading the 80, or in the 85, leading the outside line over the 75 of Daddy-O Babyface Nelson. It's kind of weird to say it that way, but James Nelson, aka Babyface Nelson, is the father of Tyler Nelson that runs the 85. Trying to get something going on that outside. Front 6 cars, single file. With the 54 of Sauber now looking to the outside by himself there. Going to try to lead that outside line. He wants to get back up there and get his lap back before the stage break if he can. That just allows him to pit with everyone else and possibly gain some positions rather than starting at the tail end of the longest line, which he would if he gets the lucky dog. Again, not a big deal either way at restrictor plates, whether or not you get it back the hard way or get it, or have to take that lucky dog wave around there. The lucky dog can be beneficial here because, yeah, you're starting at the back end of the longest line, but you only got 15 cars on track and you are at plate style racing, so the draft can really change things. As the 85 gets a little wiggly there, Elder Nelson decides to back out of it a little bit to keep from running the sun over. Now he's going to look to his inside. He says, all right, kid, it's time for me to move on. I got to get going here. So the 75 went to the inside of Tyler Nelson, now working that outside line. Is the outside of the lap machine of Matney in the 12, lap machine of 2 of Tyrone Yo. Now going to try to get to the back of the lap machine. Oh, 54. He gives the 54 a shot. 54 gives the 5 a shot, puts the 5 up into the wall. Now the 54's down on the apron. That could have got ugly. I mean, it was kind of ugly, but could have been a lot worse than what it was. The Boone able to hold on to it there, smacked the wall just a little bit, but doesn't appear to have hurt his car any. So he now gets a shot by the 75. Again, the 75 says it's go time. He's gonna get up there and go. He and the 5 of Boone drop down to that inside line. That allows Curtis Solomon to gain a little bit of momentum back. But out front's Chris Essery, still being pushed by Kenneth Pack in the number 16. Kerjelak draws to the back of the 16, which that's going to propel the 16 forward to once again push that 22. This 4 or 5 car breakaway we're seeing here is some 1.6 seconds out ahead of 6th place James Nelson. James Nelson looks to have worked himself around Michael Boone. Now it's he and the 54 of Sauber, who always tend to run good together. We're starting to pull away from the second pack, who's now racing each other, because Michael Boone has fallen through the field. Now fallen to the back of this pack. We've got just a couple of laps to go here in the stage for Chris Essery to try to get this stage win. Will Kenneth Pack, Michael Kurgelak, Lee Walter Hubert, James Bowden have anything to say about it? As they're the only ones within striking distance of this 22. But, I mean, and honestly, I believe Bowden has fallen off. Nah, he's still right there. Okay, so he's holding on pretty well. But it only takes a couple of these cars deciding to make a move. And the 22 again is just like we saw with Michael Kurgelak in the first stage. When the 75 made his move and jumped to the outside, that's all it took to completely. It's like a parachute being thrown out the back of your car if you're the leader. Because when they're behind you, man, you're fast. But as soon as they jump out of line and leave you there with no one right up against your bumper, it's like just throwing out a parachute. It just pulls you to the back. You slow down, you hear the engine RPMs drop, and you slow down. Your foot is still smashed to the floor, so it really defies all logic except for the wind resistance. Now the 20 looking to the outside of the 19, not going to be able to make it happen on his own. We need to fall back in line there. Maybe just testing some things as we are on the final lap now. Let's see if that 20 and the 53 can generate a run on these front three drivers. Now back nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail for the top five. As we see the pack a little further back, jostling for position inside that top 10. But we're going to see here if they try to do anything with this 22 as we're heading through 3. Going to exit 4 now. Do they try to look to his outside? No movement from 16. Now goes to the outside. 19's going to go with him at the line. We're going to give it to Kenneth Pack in 16. That drops the 22 back to, I believe, his second spot. I don't think Kurgelak beat him at the line. We'll have to see how iRacing scored that. Right now, they're showing him in second position. That is the 19 of Kurgelak. But Kenneth Pack is your stage 2 winner. While these cars take you to caution, I'm going to take just a quick break, and I'll be right back with you. You're not going to miss a thing. Stay tuned. Be right back. All right, it looks like Gregory Robinson comes out first with 7.72 second pit stop. So not taking tires on that stop for the 3. Looks like the 54 Sauber going to get his lap back. He'll bring it down pit road. Now that he's come around to get his lap back there, the 3 will be your leader, followed by Kenneth Pack on 4 tires. Michael Kerjlak takes 4 tires. He'll be 3rd. Lee Walter Huber in 4th. Chris Essery in 5th. First fuel-only stop will be Michael Bovair, or actually second one. Gregory Robinson was your first. Michael Bovair will jump up to that 6th position with a 7-second pit stop himself. So able to gain a few spots back there for Bovair. Bovair being our biggest mover of the race thus far, up 8 spots now from where he started. 36 laps to go here in the Firecracker 240 for the Quick Finishers Racing League Cup Series. This is the SimWorld Racing Network. I am your happy host, David Hillbilly Hara. Thanks for watching. It's been a pretty good couple of stints thus far. Had a few minor incidents. Well, some weren't quite minor. I guess we've had 2 cautions for incident and 2 for stage breaks. Let's see if we can get Curtis Sauber in the booth here to talk to him now that he's back on the lead lap. We'll see if I can find Curtis real quick. Hey, Curtis. Dave in the booth, man. You got me? See if I'm not getting Curtis. Hey, Curtis. You got me? I am not hearing any audio from Curtis. I did see that he tried to key up, but wasn't hearing anything from him. Hey, Curtis, you got Dave in the booth. You got me? I apologize, folks. Apparently, I'm having some kind of issue. Well, let me see if that's me. Hold on. Oh, you know what? It is me. Let me fix this real quick. I did a Windows update every time. Hey, Curtis. Do I have you now, bud?
I can hear you, buddy.
Hey, I got you, man. Finally.
Hey.
I was determined to make this happen, so I appreciate you. Hey, man, look, you just got the lucky dog. You had a little bit of trouble. Went down a lap. We kind of watched that. Not sure why you didn't get it the last caution. Did you pick?
I got hit during that caution. Somebody clipped me, and it gave it to Tyrone instead of me.
Oh, okay. We were wondering why, but man, we're gonna get a ride along here with you on this restart. See how things are going. I know you're getting ready to get started, so we're gonna jump on board with you there, and let you talk to us when you can, going up through the gears.
Absolutely. Yeah, race hasn't been going quite well, but it's a brand new race, 36 laps. Let's do this. My goal here is not to lose the draft while getting up to speed. Doesn't look like the outside line got moving. But it's okay, I'm going to go through the gears. Got the little accordion effect off too, you got to watch out for. Give all the 12 a bump. Woggly here, but that's a lap, boys. And
yeah,
now we got 35 laps of it.
Yeah, man. So
not too bad.
Yeah, good luck out there. Hey, is that accordion effect worse on the bottom than it is on the top?
It is, and it's just because there's more cars down here and everybody's checking up. But on top, it's not so bad. Oh, we got one in the wall. Looks like he scraped it. Oh. And I'm in it.
Oh, no. Tough break, Curtis. I hope you can get that thing repaired, man. Listen, we're gonna go ahead and let you go. I'd hold you in here, but I know you got work to do, so I'm gonna let you go.
Absolutely. Thank you, boys.
Thank you. All right, that was a lap or so around with Curtis. Unfortunately, we saw Curtis get caught up in that incident. As we're gonna go back and check the replay to see what happened here, but let's take a look. Is Curtis going to get that car down pit road and get it repaired? So you see the 48 gets up and into the wall, and then the 5 gets into the back of the 53. 12 gets into him, and then the 12, they just choke up and catch the 54 up in it. Maybe not a whole lot of damage. We're going to watch that again. This time we're going to keep an eye on Curtis. You know, you saw what it was from his helmet cam. But let's keep an eye on him here as this unfolds. You see the 48 gets into the wall there. Now the 53 is squeezing kind of low, and the 5 kind of washes up and just barely right there gets contact. That's going to turn the 53. Now that 12 is going to try to miss the 5 here. He doesn't. He kind of hits the 5, realizes there's something happening, comes up, and that washes the 54 up and into the 85. And that's what we have, folks. Kenneth Pack is your leader, followed by Chris Essery, Gregory Robinson, and Michael Kurgelak. So we've got about 32 laps to go here. We have some drivers coming on down pit road. A fuel stint here, so that's interesting. So 32 laps to go. They can go about 42 laps, 42 to 50 laps on fuel, depending on the draft and how hard you're pushing it. So 43 laps by yourself, they're saying. So no real fuel issue, but we did see a whole slew of drivers, including Michael Kurgelak, James Nelson, Michael Boone, Curtis Sovereign, Tyler Nelson, Michael Bovair, Gregory Robinson, Randy Sprouse, James Bowden, and Dustin Matney all on pit road. Now, some of these drivers came down probably to go ahead and get their tires. As we mentioned, Gregory Robinson, yeah, he took 4 tires this time, where he just took fuel before. Looks like Bovair, Kurgelak, all these guys just come in and topped off. About 5 seconds worth of fuel for James Nelson, who came out, is now in the 5th position. Just a shot of fuel to make sure they have enough to go to the end here. I don't think that fuel's going to be that big of an issue, but I mean, because so the other stage we restarted, it ended at end of lap 57, which would have been less than 40 to go right there. So if they could go 43 laps by themselves, I'm not sure why these guys came in for fuel only, unless the car handles better, packed full of fuel. You know, the heavier the car, maybe the better it's handling. I don't know. You know, these guys could also just be setting themselves up for green-white checkers. You know, if something happens at the end of this thing and we have 3 green-white checkers, that's going to be quite a few extra laps here at 2.5 miles per lap. Lincoln says, "Go, Dad, go." That would be Essery's youngin' Lincoln, I believe. Roxanne in the chat. Hello, Roxanne. Thanks for joining. As the lights are out on the pace cars, they head off into 1 here tonight. Got 30 laps to go. Here for the Quick Finishers Racing League, the Firecracker 240 from Daytona International Speedway. We have more racing on the Sim World Racing Network coming to you this weekend, I believe. Yes, so this Sunday, we'll have the All-American Racing League Truck Series taking on the High Banks of Bristol. So be sure to tune into that one. And then on Tuesday night, we have the All-American Racing League Cup Series already in the playoffs, going to the second race of the first round of the playoffs. Had Atlanta this past Tuesday, heading off to Watkins Glen to tackle that first road course of the chase for the championship. Right here on Tuesday night, that race kicks off at about 8:20, 8:25, I believe, is when the broadcast will begin. So be sure to subscribe to the channel here, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action here on the SimWorld Racing Network, as we have racing about 3 nights a week between the 2 series. Next week here for the Quick Finishers Racing League. Oh, as the pace car's off, we'll get back to that in just a second. 16 fires off inside the Geico restart zone, gets a big jump out over the 22. Not sure he wants to get out that far. This kind of sets it up to where, well, they broke up behind him too, so he might be okay. Now the 19 jumps down to that inside. Again, going to kind of break up that, or not the 19, I'm sorry, that was the 10. It's going to kind of break up that outside line just a little bit. That's really a saving grace for the 16 of pack. Whew. These cars are shuffling all over the track. Yeah, so next week for the next Friday night for the Quick Finishers Racing League, they're heading off to the final race of the regular season. It's going to be, as the 48 is around, gets into the 10, up into the wall, Michael Bovair brings out another caution here on lap 67. Michael Bovair has crashed. See if we can get a look at what happened to Michael's ride, but we're going to be going, I'm going to get this out. So they're headed off to Darlington next week for 500 miles at Darlington. That's going to be a long race, folks. That is one of the premier races they run here. They run the full length 500 laps. As we watch the 48 here, he tries to go low and just wasn't clear of the 16. He was trying to jump down into that bottom line, and the hole wasn't open. It's going to put a little bit of nose damage on that 16, maybe a little bit on the 10, as they almost make contact there. Sauber going to maybe gain a couple of spots before the caution came out. 5 able to avoid. 17 of Randy Sprouse is going to try to get this car spinning down the track. So good evasive maneuver by the 17. Didn't really show that. We'll watch that again in real speed so you can see how quick this actually unfolds here. There you have it, folks. A lot of damage for the 48, but looks like he's going to be able to get it rolling. As they're going to hit pit road here, it looks like the drivers are going to bring it back down. Unless they're coming for tires. Again, I don't understand the call. Some guys are going to take fuel only on this one. I absolutely guarantee it. We'll see what our leader, Chris Estrie, decides to do here. It's the 22 into his box. That all-important number 1 pit stall. Looks like it's just going to be fuel. I don't understand. Unless I was told incorrectly. They were telling me 43 laps they could go, single car can run on fuel. So I wasn't thinking we were going to have any fuel issues here or concerns whatsoever with only, the amount of laps that were left in the race. Again, unless these drivers are getting themselves set up for the potential that there could be a lot of green-white checkers at the end of this thing. And maybe as aggressive as the driving is getting this early on, that's what they're thinking is going to happen. Tyrone Yo getting another lap back, it appears here, as he's the lucky dog once again. Not quite back to the lead lap. I believe he's still several laps down here, but Michael Bovair on pit road trying to get that damage straightened up. I don't think he had to tow. So maybe just coming in, trying to get that manually repaired here. Still, well, he's a couple laps down, I think, right now. So maybe he did have to tow that machine. Maybe he was unable to get going. Let me see if I can tell if he took a tow. So he's going to go yet another lap down here. No, may get out just in time to avoid going an additional lap down. Gets out just in front of the pace car. The lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go green this time by. I'm going to try rack them up and try this again with we're going to have about 25 laps to go in the Firecracker 240 here at Daytona International Speedway. Beautiful facility here at Daytona, and off the backstretch, you can often see the airplanes taking off. You'll see when they do the flyover, you'll see the jets come up and take off there as you head down the backstretch here. Right there behind those signs, you can watch the planes fly. One year I saw Air Force One with Donald Trump landing there on that Daytona Beach Air or whatever. I don't know what the name of the airport is there, but anyway, they landed Air Force One there after doing a flyover of the Daytona track when President Trump and Melania stopped in for the event for the 500. It's a good time as cars are now heading through turn 3. Your leader is, and control car will be Chris Esri on that inside line. Behind him, he's got Smokey Robinson in the 3 in that red car. Robinson finding himself up towards the front here in the late going. Always tends to be in the front at these races, especially towards the end. Esri waits late. Does it again. He's going to bring the 3 along with him. Unfortunately for the 3 and the 22, they don't really have much up. Now these guys are going to dive down to the inside, the 20 and the 85. That's going to leave the 19 of Kurds out on the outside line by himself momentarily as he side drafts off the 3, trying to maintain speed, and is able to do so long enough for the 5 of Boone to get to him. Side draft paying dividends here tonight. Now the 3 locks onto the rear bumper for just a second of the 22. Grant Esri going for back-to-back wins here in the series. And his 6th win overall on the season. Unfortunately, I believe he's probably going to make the playoffs on points anyway. I know he hasn't completed enough of the season to make it a win and you're in situation. I believe the way they're doing it here is that he can still make it in on points. And I think he's 12th in points right now, so he's actually already in. So can make it very difficult on these drivers as he has run very few races and he's won 6 of them. Or, well, 5 of them. He's trying to win his 6th one. Michael Kurgelek now holds the lead, getting a great push from that outside line by the 5 of Michael Boone. Now, all 3 of the top three on that outside line able to jump down to the inside line. Again, hanging out to 12 of Matney. Matney several laps down still yet, I believe, 4 laps down. So, it's not really going to affect the outcome of his race any, but he's just out there helping guys move through the field. As now we see Esri working the outside, trying to get back to the outside of the 75 of Nelson. Again, Nelson driving that auto serve machine. Auto serve. Check them out if you're in the Charlestown, West Virginia area. You need some maintenance or service done to your vehicle. Just like to have it checked up. Make sure everything's running smoothly. Keep it running smoothly right there at Auto Serve in Charlestown, West Virginia. Michael Boone giving a little bit of a rough push to the 19 there. Got a little sparks flying out of the 19 as he got down on that apron. Kind of just upset his car. I don't know if it was that rough of a bump. It's just it really upset his car through the corner as they're back together once again. The Michael's out front of this thing. Boone in that thermal SWRN machine. Carrying SWRN on board with him tonight. Appreciate that as always. If you'd like to learn more about the Quick Finishers Racing League, you can check them out at facebook.com/QFRL. That's facebook.com/QFRL. If you've got any questions, just be sure to message those guys. They're a really nice group of folks over here at the Quick Finishers Racing League. If you're interested in racing or possibly sponsoring a car or a race, get your brand out there to the world. Let them know right there in the messages on facebook.com/QFRL. You can contact the crew here at SimWorld Racing Network at facebook.com/SWRN or drop a comment and let us know what you need in the comments of one of our videos. You can always go back and watch replays of any of our races on the channel. We have it kind of broke down into by series, I believe. So you should be able to, oh, so we got trouble. Oh no, Sauber caught up in again. The 85 in it again. Not sure what happened there. We caught the end of it. I heard the noise, and James Nelson had an issue, it appears. Let's see if we can go back and see what all happened. Oh, wait, I'm showing James Nelson went off track a ways back down the road, but there he is sideways right there. Let's back that up just a little bit, folks. Apologize for that, but okay. So he's going to go off track right here with a bump by the 3. Right there, off track, goes back on, and gets hooked by the 3, up into his son, then comes down. Oh, wow. The mayhem unfolds. Oh, that is a badly destroyed car. Michael Kurgelak is your leader, followed by Chris Essery, Michael Boone, Lee Walter Huber, and Gregory Robinson. We're going to be inside of 20 laps to go here, folks. 20 laps to go for the Firecracker 240 here. Lee Walter Huber stays out. Does not come down. Was just down on lap 68. These guys pitting here on lap 77. So Lee Walter Huber electing to stay out and take over that lead. Chris Essery going to come out in second. With, again, a fuel-only stop. These cars must just handle better with fuel packed in them. Oh, I believe we've got David Lafano joining the booth. Hey, David.
Yes, I am here. I was trying to do a couple things, but yes, I am here.
All right. Well, it's good to have you, man.
Yeah, got home just in time, I think, to catch the best part of this race.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And I have a hard stop at 10 o'clock for some work I have to do, so it'd be really great if you're able to log in and take a look as well. I don't know if I can turn the controls over to you or not, but
I do not have my timing up as of yet. I'm working on it as we speak to see if I can get this, but
Oh, we may have time to go ahead and finish this race anyway with only 19 laps. So it's been a pretty wild one so far. I mean, not a whole lot of mayhem, but there has been some. I think this is maybe the third incident of the night, so not too terribly bad. Oh, 7th caution, so this would be, yeah, maybe more than that. Because we had 2 cautions that came out for the stage breaks, and the other 5 would have been for incident. It was just such a good race, I couldn't even tell it had been that many. Okay, Curtis Sauber, unfortunately, back down a lap or 2 again, maybe. After getting that back, well, minute 16, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, at this speed, we'll have to see how it comes around. As the lights are out on the pace car. Yeah, we did a ride along with Curtis Dale, Dave, and unfortunately for Curtis, it did result in an accident occurring. It wasn't his fault, none of his doing, but we just happened to be on board his helmet cam when it all went down. And that was just after getting back on the lead lap for Curtis, as he had some troubles a little bit early on. And then he missed the lucky dog, the caution before that, and it was just a pretty tough break for him there getting to stage 2. Then he finally gets his lap back and then caught up in an incident just shortly after the restart. But Lee Walter Huber is your leader. Chris Essery, Michael Kerjelak, Michael Boone, and James Bowden, your top 5. Bowden up 10 spots to be in that 5th position. Biggest mover of the race as of now. So we're going to come to, we're going to restart this thing with 17 laps to go for the Quick Finishers Racing League Cup Series, the Firecracker 240 from Daytona International Speedway. I am your host, David Hillbilly Hara, and in the booth with me is David Lurfano now. So,
yeah, so interesting. Lee Walter Huber stays out to grab that lead, but Chris Essery going to start here in 2nd.
Yep. As we head into the Geico restart zone, 20 waits too late to fire off. He waits for the 19 to drive to his back bumper. That's going to work out for the 20. Possibly. They're door to door as they head off down into 1, or towards 1. Looks like the 22 is going to get a good push from Michael Boone. That outside line is moving a little bit better. They seem to be holding together just a bit better. Now Boone drops to the bottom. The 22 is going to drop down in front of him. Chris Essery will hold the lead.
It looks like the 3, the 75, and the 19 or 10.
10, yeah.
The 10 looking to try to, now you see the 19 jump up there, trying to get that outside line moving, but the 19 is going to get in the middle here down the backstretch.
Oh, and he gets into the 16. He's in that sucker hole, Dave. Oh, now he's up into the 10. Hard to hold on. Oh, now he's the 16. They touch. Now they're wrecking down the front. Wow. Oh, hard hit by the 48 of Beauvais. What a hard hit for Beauvais. Wow, what an incident. It's just a ping pong in between the 10, now down to the 16. Now that hooks the 16 up. Now the 16, Beauvais just goes down and hits super hard into that. Let's see if we can get on board with Michael Beauvais, take that ride with him on his gyro cam as he slams down into that wall there. Let's see if we can. We did not get on board with him. There we go. Let's see if we can try this one more time. Get on board with Beauvais. That just did not work. There we are. Now we're on board with. Kerjelak. Let's see if we can get on board with Beauvais. Bovar's going to take a really hard hit here to the inside, right as the wall kind of sticks out there. Just right. Ugh. Ugh. That was tough. That was tough. Chris Esri is your leader, followed by Michael Boone, Lee Walter Huber, Smokey Robinson, and James Bowden, your top 5. So we're going to restart this time with under 15 laps to go. It's likely going to be about maybe 13 to go by the time we stack them up and get going again.
Well, it looks like Tyrone Yo is going to get the lucky dog. Put him back a lap. It looks like he's, 6 laps down.
Yeah, he's gained a few of them back over the course of the night, but unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened. Tyrone was, he started on time, and then he was down pit road for a very, very lengthy 8 or 10, I think 10 lap, 8 or 10 lap stint on pit road. Not sure what had happened to him. Interestingly enough, lights are still on the pace car here. Should likely go off this time by, I would imagine. And we'll stack them back up 2 by 2. Now, I've mentioned Dave, Chris Esri was last week's winner at Michigan, swept the stages and won the race. Believe that was his 5th win on the season. So
Yes.
Going for his 6th win here tonight, if he can get it done. Daytona's kind of a, it's kind of a crapshoot though. I mean, it takes a lot of skill to get up there, and it takes a lot of luck to stay up there.
Yeah, absolutely. This can be tough at times to be able to manage where you are, because things can happen so quick here and kind of get out of the line, out of shape, and to the back you go.
Well, at the end of both stages, we saw the guy leading coming out of turn 4 was not the leader at the start-finish line to end the stage. So, yeah. I mean, do you want to be up front right now? I don't know. I don't know that you want to be that guy. At least not with 3 to go here in the race. Now we got 13 to go. Maybe you want to control it for a while. But I'm not sure that's where you want to be with even 1 to go.
Yeah, I think you try to put yourself into position, to be in that 2nd, 3rd row as you get to the end. And try to make something happen from there.
I've seen a little bit of everything at the end of these events here at the Daytona International Speedway. So we may have, the first 5 cars on their lid before this thing's over with. You never really know. I don't want to put that bad mojo on these drivers. I'm just saying that's something that could happen here.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that happens, I am so fired. As we're coming back down, the pace car is going to dive off here just shortly onto pit road. Pace car is off. Chris Esri, see if he waits to the end again. He does. And just goes right after the end of it.
Yeah, that outside line had to check up a little bit and kind of accordion effect, but it looks like they're trying to get formed up now on that high side. Michael Boone with a good job keeping it, dead even here as they work their way into one with the 3 of Gregory Robinson helping him.
Yep, Robinson can get a push now by the 75. 75's been a good pusher all night long. Now the 3 is going to be able to get to the back of the 5 and give him a great shove. Now they're all 3 touching. That's not good. That is not good.
It looks like they can clear if they choose to.
They bring the whole outside line with them and stay on the high side.
Ooh, a lot of... Oh, no. Curtis Auburn down into the right side of the 22 of Essery. They keep it straight. But that top 3 of Boone, Robinson, and the 75 there checked out.
Yeah, that little slip up by Curtis really caused the outside to break up just a bit, but the front 3 were already long gone by then with some great pushes. I can't believe all 3 were touching. I was trying to tell the folks at home that, yeah, can't do that, and then they go and do it anyway. And then they're going to do it again. They're all 3 touching again.
I mean, we're working about 10 laps to go here, so the gloves are off. You're going to try to do what you can to get in position to give yourself a shot at the win here at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. Elbows are up, folks. Elbows are up. I guarantee it. As these drivers are trying to make something happen. You see the 22 on the outside by himself, side drafting as he can off of the 54, trying to hold on to something, but no help on the outside for Chris Essery. He's going to drop back now to about P7. The group behind them with Kurjalak and the 12, lap down 12 of Matney, and the 17 and the 10 are battling side by side, so they're not going to make any headway on these leaders whatsoever.
Well, it looks like we got Essery. Well, yeah, like I said, just no help for Essery on the top right now. You got help coming here. A couple, this pack behind them. Let's see if Essery chooses. He looks like he's going to grab the bottom here. You got Kurjalak coming up on that outside.
Oh, he goes up to work with Kurjalak. So they're going to try to work around the 53. Got some momentum working on that outside with these 3 cars now. They're going to the outside of the 20 now. A lot of steam coming. 54 can't block. Was going to try, but can't block. Now the 19 goes to the middle, 3 wide.
That's
now
just kind of hurting the momentum.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to. I think he was doing that to keep from hitting the 22 as he had a big head of steam there. He's now back in line, going to try to push that 22, get that momentum back up again. Back out front, Michael Boone continues to lead here with 8 laps to go in the Firecracker 240.
Well, here comes the 22 of Essery and the 19 of Kurjalak. Nose to tail here, making some headway up through the outside lane.
Side drafting off to 75 now. 3's going to jump to the outside.
54 jumps up there as well. Now it's 4 against 3 there on the bottom.
Essery really putting on a show, getting back up through the field down. Now he's locked bumpers with the 3 of Robinson. They're going to go to the low side. Kurjalak stuck left alone on that outside. Oh, Boone going to run him up the track just a little bit. Yeah, that's going to leave a bad taste in the 19's mouth there, helping the 22. Just depends on how he feels about that at the end of the day. Racing is racing. Yeah, we're coming down to the end of this thing. You got to go for it. That's exactly what the 22's doing. He's pushing the heck out of the 3, trying to get away from all these other drivers.
Yeah, we've got about 6 laps to go here, so the top 3, like you said, kind of checked out, but they should be able to run them down here. They're going to have a little bit of head of steam, the 19 and the 54. See what they choose to do when they catch them.
Yeah, they caught him in a hurry, too. 19's going to go to the outside. Not a whole lot of help right there, but a really good run. That's going to allow him the time he needs for the 54 to catch him. Now they're bunched up on the outside, door to door, heading down to the start-finish line. We're going to give that lap to Kerjelak.
Yeah, that outside lane really starting to form now. You got 5 cars up there. You got the bottom line trying to get regrouped to get a run back up through.
Michael Kerjelak is your leader, followed by the 54. Curtis Sauber. Outside line is really starting to group up a little bit better with the 17 and 16 here. 17 giving a really big push to the 16. They got a lot of momentum coming down the backstretch. Should easily clear these guys. Well, no, now the 54 is going to get back to the back of the 19 to keep it door to door. I feel the temperature rising here, Dave. Something's a brewing. Oh, 16 gets loose.
Ooh.
Woo! Able to hold on to that thing. My Lenta. Ugh.
Yeah, we're coming down just a few laps to go here. That outside lane's moving around an awful lot. Randy Sprouse trying to stay glued to the 16. You got to be careful here. Just the slightest wrong move and around they go. So,
yeah, and as many cars have been caught up in the incidents we've had thus far, I'm not sure how many quick repairs there are left. Some of these drivers may have a handful, but the battle is door to door with the 19 and the 16. Ford versus Chevy.
yeah, inside outside lane just locked dead even here.
So we're inside of 3 laps to go. Now 2 laps to, well, whoa, we're on the backstretch. I was watching the 2 cross. Oh, 16 gets loose again across the nose of the 17. They kind of shuffled the 20 out of line there. Now the 17, they're going to hang the 16 out. Now the 22 goes high. He's going to get up behind the pack.
He needs someone to work with to get himself back to the front. I think that combo of Sprouse and the 16 a pack just really wasn't working too well, but see if the 22 and 16 can do something, if they can get hooked up here.
Now the 75's up there. Now 75's been a great pusher all night tonight. They're going to come with a head of steam. 54
Curtis
throws
jumps
the block.
up to. Oh no!
Whew, lane changing. Now the 54 trying to go for the lead. Curtis Sauber to the inside of the 19 of Kerjelak. As we're coming to 1 lap to go when they cross the line this time by, this will be an official race if there's no caution before we get there. 16 to the outside of the 19. 19's hung in the middle. 19's in the middle.
Wide.
3 wide on the last lap of the race. It's all or nothing, folks. They're going to get the 3 and the 19 touch.
But Kenneth Pack, your leader.
Holy camole. Kenneth Pack not in the place you want to be is the 75 and the 54 buddies. As they're wrecking behind them. They're wrecking behind them. We're going to watch this battle for the lead. As now the 75 tries to go to the outside, but the 54 is with the 16. That's going to push the 16
the block
out
by the
front.
16 worked.
Now the 3 goes way high to go 3 wide. That's going to help the 16. That's going to help the 16. Your winner of the Firecracker 240 is Kenneth Pack. Throws a block. He's going to win it. He's going to win it. He just won it. They're wrecking. They're wrecking. They're wrecking. Wow, what a finish. What a finish. What a finish.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see if we can check that out again. Holy crap, I'm not even sure how they finished here. Oh.
The pivotal moment there for the 16 was that block down the backstretch, which kind of separated the 75 and the 54. Yeah, that really helped him there.
All right, let's see if we can get Curtis Sauber up here in the booth, Dave.
All right, let's see. Hey, Curtis, David in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Mr. Hillbilly, how are you?
Hey, man, I got Mr. Lafano with me as well now, so that's good news.
Hey, Lafano.
I made it for the best part. I didn't get to catch much of the race, but it was a crazy finish there. So congrats on the third place run. And how was the finish there? It looked a little sketchy for a couple blocks, and but you came out.
The finish was way better than the whole race. I was in the back pretty much the whole race, but squeaked out a podium, so that's all that matters.
Heck yeah, man. Listen, lap down at one time, just getting caught up in stuff just outside of your control many times. And it was looking kind of grim for you there for a while, man. But listen, great job pulling off the top 3. Just put on a heck of a show on that last lap. I mean, there's guys wrecking all over the place behind you guys, and the pushes were big. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. The floor is yours, bud.
That last lap was amazing. I appreciate everybody coming out, having a good old time, and I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Well, we enjoyed it, or I enjoyed it. I think Dave enjoyed the end of it. So, congrats again on a P3, and we'll send you back to celebrate.
I appreciate it, boys. Thank you.
Right, man. That was Curtis Sauber in the number 54 Toyota getting that third place finish. Let's see if we can get a word with Mr. James Nelson in the number 75 AutoServe machine.
Hey, James, Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey guys, what's happening?
Hey, James. Hey, not a bad run for you. I kind of tuned in late, so I missed a lot of the race. But what a wild, kind of crazy finish, and congrats on the P2.
Yeah, thank you. PT is always good. I'm gonna want that win.
Man, it was.
But no, that turned out good.
Look, you got the stage 1, or was it stage? You got the stage 1 win. Yes. And you did it in kind of a fashion I thought we were going to see here on the last lap as well, where the leader was just really in a tough spot. Where you hung him out at turn 4 to win the first stage, I believe it was. And the same thing happened to, I believe, Kurgelak in stage 2. Same kind of pass right at the end. So was it best to be, with one to go, was it best to be second or third? Or, I mean, obviously, hindsight, the 16 still came out on top. But it looked to be that if you were the front guy, you were in a lot of trouble.
I have always found that if I'm coming to the line in the front, I'm going to get beat. It never seems to work for me, so I definitely prefer to be second or third. If that's a second plate track race in a row now that Curtis refused to join me at the end and didn't let us get a better finish. So let's make a mental note of that. Because I was trying to get to the outside. I thought Curtis was going to push me, and then we would have pulled it off. But no, he decided to go his own way, which is fine. That's all good.
I feel a little bit of I don't know, something brewing. We'll have to see come next week. Man, look, that was a great finish. I'm gonna leave the floor open to you to shout out anybody you want to shout out. Obviously, it won't be Curtis, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you now.
Curtis is still my bud, but thank you to AutoServe as always for sponsoring everything they've done this year. Thank you to you guys. Appreciate you sticking it out. Well, I guess we made it by about 4 minutes.
Yep.
Great broadcast as always, I'm sure. I'm going to rewatch it here in a bit. Thanks again. Have a great night.
All right, buddy. We'll send you back to celebrate. Thanks, James.
All right, bud.
That was James Nelson in the number 75 AutoServe Ford finishing P2 today. But let's talk to the man of the hour. Let's see if we can get Mr. Kenneth Pac-Man Podium Pack up here in the booth.
Kenneth Podium Pack standing at the front of the pack. You got a copy, sir.
I sure do.
Hey, Kenneth.
Wow.
Good run there to come home with the win. And I was just telling Hillbilly too. I know we gotta make it quick because Hillbilly has work to do. But that pivotal moment for you was down the backstretch. You made that block on the 75, and the 54 decides to abandon the 75 and stick with you. And that made all the difference right there.
Yeah, I saw them 3 wide behind me off of 4, and I knew I didn't have nobody with me. So here I am having to think, well, who am I going to block? Where am I going to go?
Yeah.
A lot of, there at the end, I mean, a lot of shoving and pushing going on, and that's just restrictor plate racing.
Yeah, man. Like we were saying, elbows were up and guys were driving for everything they had. A lot of big pushes, a lot of hard pushes, and you came out on top, man. Congratulations on the victory here tonight. Are you going to make it for the 500 next Friday?
It depends on my work. I got to work that day. If I get off at 7, I'll be fine. If I don't get off till 8, I probably won't make it.
Well, we hope
we'll just have to wait and see.
Tuesday? Yep.
Coming Tuesday. I should be fine. I should be fine with that. But we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, it'd be good to have you in the All-American Racing League as you're racing for a championship over there, and you're getting it done over here as well, man. So hopefully the work schedule works out for you, and congratulations on your victory here tonight, bud.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all. I hope I know my brother said he was gonna be watching, but might not watch at all. Hope he was.
He was definitely in the chat early on. I don't know if he was still watching to the end here, but he was definitely in the chat early on.
I talked to him before, and he said he might not watch it all. He might have to finish it later, but if he does, brother, we got another one.
Heck yeah. Well, listen, Kenneth, congratulations on the victory here tonight in the Firecracker 240 at Daytona International Speedway. We're going to send you back to celebrate, bud, but awesome race.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll see you, Kenneth. All right. That was a good race here tonight. We're going to give you the full race rundown, finishing positions. I believe the iRacing was able to get this all squared away now. At least I hope. I'm sure they had to go back and do some reviews and figure out where everybody finished here tonight. But Kenneth Pack was your leader, or your winner, with James Nelson in second, Curtis Sauber getting third, Chris Essery, pole sitter, finishing in the 4th position. Put on a heck of a race all night. Smokey Robinson finishes in 5th, with Kirby Wainscott, first race back here this season, finishing in 6th. Lee Walter Huber finishes 7th, with Randy Sprouse in 8th. Michael Kerjelak finishes 9th. 10th was James Bowden. Michael Boone 11th. 12th was Dustin Matney. 13th was Tyrone Yo Jr. Michael Bovair finishes in 14th, with Tyler Nelson finishing, 20 laps down in 15th position. Not a great night for Tyler. It was good going early on, but unfortunately got caught up in a few incidents there, and it's going to cost him at the end of the day. But I don't know, Dave. It was a good race overall. You missed the first couple of stages there, but we're able to come in at the end, so we do appreciate you for doing that, as you didn't have to, but you did. So as always, we appreciate everything you do up here.
And not a problem. Got home a little early. Figured I'd jump in, catch the best part of the race, and hang out with you for a few minutes.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, listen, it's been a fun night. I hope everyone at home had a good time right here on the Sim World Racing Network. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It does help the channel. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We've got racing coming up. I've already given you guys the schedule at home, so you know what's coming up this Sunday for Bristol with the trucks. And then Tuesday, we're going to be at the road course over at Watkins Glen. And then we're going to be back here for 500 miles at Darlington. Very tough track. Very, very tough track. Right here in the season finale, regular season finale on the Quick Finishers Racing League. For Dave and Dave in the booth here at the Sim World Racing Network, to you at home, have a good one.